Good evening, SBC. Good evening, SBCC. Good evening, BSL. And good evening to everyone else within the sound of my voice, north, south, east, and west. This is the January 24th, 2023 edition of SBC Tuesday Talk. And I am your host and moderator and whatever else you want me to be, Mr. Mike Walker. Glad to have each and every one of y'all with us tonight. We hope and that you had if I knew this shirt was looking like this, I wouldn't have worn this one. Okay, that looks a little better, y'all, I think. Okay, we hope that you had a good day today. Things went well, and if they didn't, you just keep on keeping on. You just press on and do what you need to do, okay? And I see y'all still coming in, but we can still do some salutations. There's a few of them. Andrea from the YouTube side, glad to have each and every one of y'all with us. We got Anissa Brown, glad to have you here. We got Lynn, great to have you here. Two Browns. Pastor Gladden, glad to have you here from the home of the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, the green and black. Yes, Regina Lowry from Beer Country, glad to have you here, and Cheese Country as well. Yes, Clinton Scott from the Windy City. Good evening to you, sir. Glad to have you here and welcome to the group. Chauncey, great to have you here, sir. Great as always. Josette, glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. It was something good. That's why I had a hesitation. I think we're gonna have some more. A bit of transparency here. I'm gonna be the only one here. So it's gonna be you and I. I always like those shows. And we're gonna have a good conversation. But I think I'm gonna do something a little different. And I just posted it in the comment section that if anyone else want to just come in, not necessarily co-host, but almost like a dial-in, if you will. I put the link in the comment section. Okay, well, we'll get started. And they'll come in shortly, so we'll get started with the first one. As you know, y'all came in here. We get with these topics. We'll take care of this right here. Hanging on to keepsakes during relationships. Hanging on to keepsakes during relationships. Okay? And I'm going to play this video for y'all. And it's from Kendra G from Chicago. And she had a question. It seemed like it's an old tape, but y'all take a listen.
Kendra G, my boyfriend was murdered 5 years ago, and that was a tough period of my life. I still wear his chain around my neck to this day. Well, my new boyfriend is aware what I went through, but he told me over the weekend he has an issue with me still wearing his chain. He said that we are in a relationship now, and there is no need for me to still wear his necklace. Kendra G, he was murdered. I can't believe my boyfriend is tripping. I can't cheat with him or anything like that. I wear his chain to keep his memory alive. What do you think?
Okay, people, what do you think? It's one thing to have keepsakes of a relative, and you keep them, you wear them or what have you, a ring, a necklace, or what have you, though. And you have a former boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, mate, partner, whatever you want to call them, and you wear a reminder of them. So, first of all, how many of y'all do that? If you had the unfortunate you know, to have lost someone like that. And do you feel that the present boyfriend is wrong? Do you feel that the present boyfriend is wrong in asking her not to represent her former boyfriend? Let me put that banner right back up there. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Now, if it was me, and we're not gonna be on this one long. If it was me, I mean, I would explain to them, hey, this is something we had good memories together. We had a good time together. I would keep it. I would keep it. Oh, we got some good ones. We got Joe. I ready to see what she about to say. Joe says, I just got rid of all mine recently. I even had an engagement ring from in the pawn shop from 6 years ago. I finally let him have it. I threw all other keepsakes in the garbage. No, he is not wrong. Hmm, okay. So, Joe, you don't have anything? Well, let me ask you this, Joe. What made you decide to just purge yourself of those memories? Excuse me, y'all. What made you purge yourself of those memories? And I don't know. It depends on the relationship. If we ended on bad terms, I don't even think I hold on to it. It's least likely I would hold on to it though. But if we had a great relationship, I don't know. I really don't know how I would handle that though. Theodora says, glad to have you. Keeping it in her jewelry box would be fine, but she should stop wearing it. No, he is not wrong. Okay, that's two. That's pretty interesting right there. That's two. That's a pretty interesting take on it. Anissa, good to have you. I think it's different when someone is lost tragically. At my age, gentlemen seem to be widowed. So you have to understand that they may have keepsakes. Okay. So do y'all think holding on to a keepsake means that you just haven't let go? What does that mean to you? Have you ever let go? Can you let go? Okay. Marcus Wilbanks from Belma. I have keepsakes from my father after his passing, but it depends on whose relationship is subjected to. Well, I get that, and we understand family. We all understand family, but we are talking about more so of an ex. I don't want to even call him an ex. They was a former partner of yours, girlfriend slash boyfriend. They passed on, be it tragically. Well, it's tragic that they passed on, murdered, killed, disease, natural causes, what have you. Would you still continue wearing the necklace that she gave you, or a ring that she gave you, or a bracelet that she gave you, whatever? Would you continue wearing that though? And does that mean you can't let go? So Joe said, I met someone new and I feel differently about him. And I felt a spiritual awakening about the keepsake. After I threw everything away, I felt a clarity and freeness that I hadn't felt before. Mm, that's pretty good right there. So you purged yourself. What made, so I guess you're saying you met someone new. So do you have any smidgen of regrets? Any smidgen of regrets. So, Marcus, if my ex-girlfriend passes on, I don't bring it up to my future relationship. Well, I know how you feel about your ex, so I'm pretty sure you're not gonna win anything from her. But I'm just saying, well, if y'all were deeply in love, y'all were still together when she passed on, how would you handle that? Would you still wear, like I said, the rings, the whatever else, a charm, a necklace, a hat even? How would you doing it? Theodora, wearing it to me says that they have not let go. Mm, mm. That's a good way to look at it. They have not let go. Well, let me ask y'all this, and this might be a crazy question, though, I guess, but how long is too long? Or at least what length of time do you have before you just decide to let go? Especially if you met someone. Did you meet someone like Josette said, and you just said, you know what? Met someone, let me get rid of all this stuff, the extra this, that, and another thing. How soon do y'all think that should be? What length of time, what period of time, you know? And of course, have you dealt with them being gone in the first place? You got to look at the grief part. And there is really no grieving period, no grieving time limit. You miss a person, everybody deals with their grief differently. So I don't know. Yeah. Andrea says, yeah, everyone's grieving period is different. And I agree with you. Everyone's grieving period different. So I don't know. I don't know how to handle that. I don't know how to handle that myself, though. That's a sticky situation, though. But let me ask y'all this, though. If y'all were dating someone, tables were turned and what have you, and they were grieving over their past spouse, um, partner, what have you, though, and they were still hanging on to a trinket or what have you, would you give them a time limit? Would you address them? Would you say, hey, we understand, though, but it's time for you to move forward? How would you handle that? Sean Johnson, good to have you here. It is about a matter of not letting go. Or could it be as a way to remember the person, sort of as a memorial? And you know what, Sis Johnson, I agree with you. I mean, that's how I feel about it. I wouldn't walk around with her face on a t-shirt or what have you, while I'm still dating another lady. No, of course, but I definitely see what you're saying, though. Yes, yes, yes. Joe said, no, no, no regrets. I had jewelry from an ex that passed away. I have no clue where that stuff is now, but I wouldn't continue to wear the stuff. I like to change my jewelry too much. I like new things too much, and I am not emotionally attached to things. I prefer the Facebook memorials that I get. That's enough for me. And Theodora says, there is no time frame on grief, but when you open up yourself to be in an exclusive relationship, it's time to stop wearing it. Understood. Understood. That's very much understood right there. It ought to be a time. Andrea says, I would have a real conversation about why they feel they need to wear it. You'll never know with the conversation. The answer determines the next step. Pretty good right there. Hey, Chandra Giles. I could see both sides. It sounds like she is not truly ready to let go. But for him, it might symbolize a ghost that he can't contend with for her love. Grief has no time limit. You could help them through the grief. Okay, and I recently dealt with that recently. Uh we was old, I don't want to refer to her as old flame, but old flame, lady friend, decided to get back together after she became a widow. It was months. And then, she was still missing her husband, which is quite understandable. So, we decided to go separate ways or what have you, which is understandable. So, like, there is no time frame, just like Theodora said. Chandra, yeah, that's what I just said. Okay. Joseph says, would she have a problem with him if he wore his deceased wife's wedding ring? That's it. We don't know. And like someone said, we don't know the whole story. We just don't know. We don't know how it's gonna go, how it's ending, or what have you, though. So we don't know. Okay. Marcus, there is no time limit on grieving. Now, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. You know what? Let's move on for that. That was like the little appetizer, though. That was the small appetizer. But before we move on, of course, you know that. Make sure you do that. Invite your friends, your neighbors, your dog, your cat, your bird, your pastor, your doctor, everybody. Tell them to like, subscribe, and share. Up next. This is the main event, though. Dating, sex, and other expectations. Dating, sex, and other expectations. We get a lot out of dating. We have a lot of expectations out of dating. You know, dating, some people use dating as something you do prior to a relationship. Some people use dating synonymously with relationship. So, and this might seem like a silly question, though, but what do you truly expect out of dating? Is it sex? Let's just be honest with you. Is it other expectations? Is it payola, financial? Is it emotional support? What is expected of them, though? And I got a clip of a couple. You know, I got a clip for everything. Of a couple. They went out on a date. And bruh decided to split the bill. And I want you to listen carefully as to why he split the bill. Y'all take a listen.
All right, you guys.
Did you really come back with 2 separate checks?
Yeah, that's what I was asked to do.
You're really gonna make me pay?
You gonna get some ass?
No.
Well, anyways, man, here go the 2. She not gonna give you what? No ass. That's crazy.
Man.
Wait.
Are you?
I'm gonna pay the 15. At least show a kneecap.
Fuck you.
See, that's your problem. You don't want to. That's your problem.
He's really making me pay, you guys.
Hey, how you get home?
You're fucking taking me home. You're taking me home.
You got gas?
No.
You want to give that to the ride?
No. You're taking me home.
I think you heat up the food.
All right, you guys. He's not making me. He's making me pay for my food because I won't have sex with him. That's a sad shame. Look at this man. Don't ever go out with him. Don't give him your number. Just fucking run.
Y'all hoes is hungry.
Woo. Woo, 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 and woo. Well, so, of course, y'all heard why he didn't want to pay for it. Y'all heard that, though. So, the clean version, she wouldn't have sex with him. Now, I'm going to do a little commentary before I let y'all tackle this, though. You know, if you were expecting that, but, you know, I'm just saying, I think bruh should look better than what he was looking, though. You know, trim your whiskers. Wear a nice polo shirt or button-up shirt or a nice jacket, though. You know, anyway, and from where I'm from, and I say this all the time, if I invite a lady to go out with me, I'm paying for it, regardless of whether she give me some poontang pie or not. I'm going to pay for it because that's what a real gentleman does, okay? Whew. You know, we need help. We need help. Let me read some of these comments. Y'all done came in fast, too. I'm going to read... let me see. Y'all coming in here about answering the questions. Carmelita, glad to have you. Glad you remember. I'm looking for companionship. That's my expectation in relationship. Josette says, I expect new life experiences in dating and in relationships. Okay, Tiffany, my friend, good to have you. I expect honesty, companionship, emotional bonding, spiritual bonding, making memories and growing and learning. The dating should be the building of the foundation of the relationship. Good, 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 good. Tia, glad to have you here from KC. Heck no. So she's referring to the video. Yep. Sean says that's crazy. Josette says, you see that. You see that. Clinton Scott, that was messed up. Wow. That part. Yes. Charlene, good to have you here from Florida. Sad and disrespectful. I wouldn't want to get in the car with him. Burn Keepsakes. It's a good Richard. Glad to have you here. Liz, wear a shirt with a collar. Hey, Sherry from H-Town. I hope y'all doing all right with that bad weather. Hope y'all doing all right with that bad weather. Okay. Trim your whip. Yeah, that's right. If you're going out with, look at his, you know what? I'm gonna just show y'all. To show you right quick. Just to show you, not to clown on people. Because I don't like I don't like doing that. But just look. I'm not gonna play the whole video over again.
All right, you guys.
Did you really come back with 2 separate checks?
Yeah, that's what I was asked to do.
You're really gonna make me pay?
You gonna get some ass?
No.
Well, anyways, man, here go the 2. She not gonna give you what? No ass. That's crazy.
Man.
Wait.
Seriously. You expect her to lay down with you or whatever, and you haven't cleaned up or what have you? Seriously? Serious? I mean, we as practitioners of the Christian faith should be practicing abstinence. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there, put that caveat out there. But you expect her to give you some, and you haven't trimmed your whiskers. So okay, so that's why, Nissa. Oh, thank you so much. Leslie. Poontang pie. Yes. Yeah, don't act brand new, Leslie. Poontang pie. Stephanie, good to have you here. He was being too ignorant in public. That's why I carry my own money. No expectations over here. He was drinking from the bottle. Yup. Sean says, the question is, what is expected should be had prior to the date? Good point. Good point. Y'all coming in hard tonight. There was no conversation before the date about expectations. That seems like it. It seems as though sex was discussed and assumptions were made by both the outcome and communication is the key. Again, I would have had fun with that food. I'm really creative. I would have ordered more desserts and soda. I would have went to the restroom, walked out the door, leaving him there with that bill. Yeah, I understand that. But nowadays, that could be a bit dangerous too, though. I don't know, but I understand what you're saying, though. Again, if you invite a woman out, you pay for it. That's just the way I look at it. Wow. Yeah, Chandra Giles, he was wrong. If his only reason for going out was for sex, he would have called a booty call for that. If he had been honest about his intentions, this could have been avoided. And like someone else said, we don't know what happened prior to this, but they should have talked about this. But again, if he was expecting that, though, come on, folks. If he was expecting that, clean up, look nice. Thank you, Leslie Ruth. He looks stank. He looks bad. Need a haircut. Need a trim it so he can look good as mine. He need a good shirt on and everything. Need on. And if he can't get a haircut, get a nice Tuesday Talk hat. Shameless plug. And he could just do anything, Here we go. That's how these men out here living and counting. Now, Joe said, now don't lump all the men out there. I know it's not all the men out there. Come on now. we trying to get away from lumping all people of the same genders together just because one don't know how to act. Come on. Hey, Erica from Washington D.C. Lay down with you for you know what? Okay. Oh, let me straighten this out. I'm glad you said that. His ticket was $15.99. What he ate totaled up to $15.99. What she ate was either $41 or $42. Okay. But still, if you was taking her out though, you know, that is not the way to do it. Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm really glad you brought that up. Tiffany, he looked like he smelled. Well, Tiffany, he does. He doesn't look too good, but hey, she went out with him. Hey, I agree. Anissa, your boy, y'all coming in straight. It's the Looney Tunes t-shirt. No, exactly. Exactly. He looks itchy. Oh, legs are going off on this poor man. He's that conversation should have been had before dinner. Okay, y'all coming in good. Hey, Renee, glad to have you here. You got to be up here one day. Glad to have you here, Renee Davenport. Lynn Brown, he is so cheap and you could tell that. Or he might be a miser. Who knows? But I'm sure it was something that gave window to his expectations before they sat at the table. I've counseled a dinner because of something similar one time. And again, makes you wonder, was it fully discussed? Was it implied deceptively? Did they have a full-fledged discussion? I don't know. That's really something to chew on. Okay. They must have in California. They both not into. Okay. Well, don't entertain crazy. Stephanie Borden, at least put some conditioner. Put on some conditioner, looking all nappy. Charlene, it looked like a fast food restaurant. Y'all put in the comments what foods cost $42 at the. I don't know. Maybe it was. Who knows? I'm up for I'm celebrating. And that's true. That is true. So somebody may not have been up front though. Gonna say, anyway. Joe said, no, not all the men. I forgot to be technical. A lot of men and women are like this out there. Okay. Neither of them were intelligent. Okay, good. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have to give you a little something. He thinks she costs that's something to ponder on. Tiffany says, and my rule of thumb is bring my own coins and order what I'm willing to pay for anyway. The hope is the guy do right. But hey, I'm prepared before my eyes to hit the menu. Okay. That's it right there. And just remind you, we still not that one. Uh dating, sex, and other expectations. So sex might have been his expectation, but guess what? Food might have been her expectation. So okay, we're getting back to these comments, boy. Y'all, I appreciate y'all. Without you, this obvious, but without you, we would not have a show. Sherry, be careful down there. I have a feeling both of them messed up intentions. I agree with you, Sherry. Her for a free meal, and of course, we see what his intention was. Sherry, you preaching. That's out there. I agree with you 100%. It looked like Applebee's. I'm with you. I agree with you. I like Applebee's. Y'all can clown on me all y'all want to. I like Applebee's. A steak and water and those sides might cost $42. Yeah, where you coming from? Okay. Whew. Boy, y'all clowning hard on this though. Okay. I think we're gonna go into part 2 of this topic. So it has a different title, so to speak. It has a different title. And And while we do that little slight commercial break, of course, please like, please subscribe, and please share. Like, subscribe, and share. Okay. We still talking about sex and other expectations. So this is part 2. It's going to have a separate title, though. So here's another messed up, I guess, expectations of dating and relationships. So y'all sit back with this one, have your favorite beverage. Y'all take a listen.
Are you
Then
serious?
we get in the story talking about pipe bodies, and I'm not paying for nothing. Boss,
You funny.
no, you're funny. I don't know what you think this is or what I don't know. Stop! Don't ask me to pay for it. I don't know you or none of that.
Okay.
Then you already strange and making me feel like I'm on something. I'm a normal ass nigga. Like I don't do none of that. You just and I ain't with none of that, bro. I ain't with all that uppity. I got 16 blood cells. I ain't with all that snobby uppity shit. I don't do all that. We grew up with nothing. We ain't had nothing. We grew up with garages and shit. Like, I ain't had nothing. Like all this shit. Like I don't like this. Not gonna drop me back off because I feel some type of way. You're making me feel some type of way.
No.
I got enough money to pay for my own lift, but it's just like that's some bum shit.
I know you ain't calling nobody no
I
bum.
didn't say you was a bum.
You couldn't pay for your own food.
I couldn't pay for it. He didn't accept.
You said what?
Or he didn't accept Apple Pay.
Okay.
Give me the cash if I can give you $7.
I don't even want the money. I don't even.
Can you drop?
I know you ain't calling nobody, bro.
It's a scene. You
To-
don't even know.
Yeah,
Can you drop me off?
no,
Please.
no. Are you
Then we get in the
serious?
story talking about pipe bodies, and I'm not paying for nothing.
So to give a little context here, this woman goes out on a date with this guy. For some reason, she ends up picking him up for the date, and the reservations that they have fall through. So they end up eating at a food court in the mall, and she pays for that as well. And when they're looking at a store, she sees a skirt that she likes, and she jokingly says, I should get this skirt, and you should get me this skirt for my birthday. And he spazzes out, starts calling her a gold digger, saying, I'm not paying for nothing. All you women are the same. You're just trying to use me for my money and all that. What money? She paid her gas money to come pick you up and paid for the Chinese food. Like, some of these men, it's not that you're asking for too much. They don't want you to ask for anything at all. If the money that it takes to take a woman out is going to devastate your finances, stop dating. The funny part is, at the end of this video, this same man who acts a fool, makes a scene in the mall, has to beg this same woman to take him home because he can't afford to Uber or do anything to get himself back home.
What code is he speaking in? I need a translator. Wait, let me do this right here. Yeah. Okay, great share. Leave him at the mall. Bye, Felix. And he will learn how to walk. Okay, yeah, she got nice hair. Theodora, it would be his day to get to stepping. Oxymoron. You know what? Right there, broken dating. And I'm gonna say this as a man. If you broke, I mean, just what the caption right here says, broke and dating. If you know you can't afford to date, then stay out of a relationship, or stop trying to date, or stop trying to establish something, and maybe you could talk to the young lady and say, hey, listen, this is how my finances is, da. We could probably go out once a week. Not once a week, once a month. We could probably do I know this is probably dated now, Netflix and chill. We can cook in, we can order in, we could do a little picnic, but don't put on airs like you got something, then she had to turn around and pay for it. And then you getting mad at her. Want her to take you home. Listen now. You want her to take you home in her car with no gas money, and you have the nerve to be ugly about it. Mm-hmm. Mm. Let me see. Oh boy. Even at the screw had his ride, excuse me, in his he good and scrubby right here. Broke folks stay at home. Get yourself together and then date. Sonia from Queens. Oh, he would have been hitchhiking home. I could hear it in your voice too. I hope you show up at the after party tonight. Or go to, and you know what? Calmly, that's like I said. Know your budget. Know how much you can spend and cannot spend. And just say, hey, let's go do this. Let's do that. You can have a fun date. I don't even think the place matters to a degree. If y'all having a good time and y'all treating each other right, hey, and I know this might be pushing it though, but that couple that got married in McDonald's that's posted in our Single Black Christians group. But I know that's pushing it though, but you get the idea though. Nissa, no one should date if they don't have any disposable income. Joe said, I'm sorry, but this is the California style. I've heard people arguing like this a lot in the malls out here. In various restaurants here, I hear this a lot. I'm so confused as to why this seemed new to y'all. Well, again, like you said, everywhere is different. Results may vary though. I need to move out of California and see. Now, come to Alabama. We don't do that here, but not much anyway. I have never had this problem. I'm a little wiser and classier than this. Tiffany, get you someone that dates on your level. If you enjoy simple, inexpensive, get you someone who feels the same. Like, be fancy. Get you someone who gets it. Cloud watching by the ocean is amazing. Hey, it doesn't cost a thing. Maybe a few drinks, soda, pop, or flavored water, or something. Yeah, don't too much call. Just bring me a Lunchable and a Dr. Pepper. You know that, Carmelita? You can't beat that. And that's not going to break the bank right there, especially with inflation and the price of eggs. Yeah, that's not going to break the bank right there. But Erica agreed. I have told this to someone. Yeah, you can't do that. You cannot, and then I'm going to say this too. And ladies, please correct me though. But if you're female, I don't think you should be broken dating either. Because then I feel the situation would be different. It might be a dependency, I guess. I hope I'm not sounding chauvinist. If it is, please forgive me because I don't like to be that way. I think, like someone said, you need to have your own money. And you need to have your own money in case he acts a clown just like the old fella here. You could sit up there in case he get your own cab or Uber or what have you. Pay for your own meals and everything, though. It's good that you have your own money so you won't have to depend on him, like people say, free meal, though. And nothing is free, though, but have your own change. Please do. Please have your own change. And amen. Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you. I agree. True. 100. Thank you. Have your own money. And you better say that. You better have them coupons. Not coupons, but coupons. Okay. Slice of pizza and Coke. That sounds good right there. Whew. Okay, then. I think we're going to move on because we got, no, let me do this right here. Let me see. I have never been on a date unprepared. I have never been on a date unprepared. Let me see what this other one is. Joe said, I tried to change a handsome homeless man. I dated him for a while and paid for all the meals. I'm glad I'm not desperate anymore. Marcus, I saw you waiting, but you just didn't wait though. But we almost finished now. certain hardworking people do get paid every 2 weeks nowadays. I'm willing to compromise on a monthly or bi-weekly basis if I'm dating someone on my level. On that video, he should have been compromising on a budget, and she should have bought her own coins. Well, no, she might have brought her own coins. He just, you know, you have to bring, trust me, the sisters of the day are smart. They're going to have their own coins. They're going to have their own money. Trust me. They're going to have their own money. Yeah, those days of manipulations, female through your bank account is pretty much over. You know, they got their own change now. Okay. So I guess we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on because we got a lot. Well, y'all, we doing good. We running out of time too. Wait, let me get this comment. Do we have a last comment? Erica, successful women also don't want to date someone who is with them because of the benefits. And vice versa. Vice versa. It goes both ways, but definitely 100 right there. Okay, we're gonna move on quickly. We got about, I don't know. Please like, of course, please subscribe, and please share. Okay, like, subscribe, share. Okay, we got another one. We got what? I mean, we got 1, 2. Oof, shucks. Let me see how we gonna do this. How we gonna do this? How we gonna do this? How we going? Okay, you know what? I have to skip that one. Boy, y'all got me working here today. Okay, I think we're gonna lighten things up since we got 13 more minutes. Okay. We still talking about dating. Well, no, what? Let me just go and do this one. Talking about dating. And here's a video. Here's a video right here. We're gonna stay very brief on this.
Yeah, so
What?
nothing. You just sneezed.
So?
I'm just saying it's funny. I set your thermostat to 74 degrees last night. Did you leave?
Relax. I just sneezed.
No, I'm just wondering. I mean, I didn't exactly create a sneezing conducive environment. So I was just wondering.
You're so controlling.
What's his name?
How many of y'all have had dealt with a controlling partner? Just show of hands. Someone who's almost like that. That is scary. I see the hands coming up. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A controlling partner. Now, how many of y'all had that? We're not gonna stay on this one long. Never. Okay. Yeah, that is good right there. Oh wow, really? I'm so sorry about that. Let me see. Tia. Joe said, yep. Sonia. Wow. No, I know you ain't gonna let that happen, Theodore. I'm not even worried about that. Go ahead, Michael McKeever. Okay, we got a few more. Then we're gonna move on. We're gonna do this for another minute. Yes. Wow. So it's more common than we really think. Wow. My last one. Wow. Ebony, good to have you here. Wow. Clarissa Dow, good to have you here. Yes. Charlene, he tried. She said he tried. And he was controlling because he had insecurities and trust issues. Okay. Wow. Okay. I think we're gonna move on right quick. I just want to get a kind of polling on that. And I don't think we could have said too much on it anyway. So, and of course, you know the drill. Please subscribe and please share. Like, subscribe, and share. Okay. Now we finna lighten things up. Try to do this as quickly as I can. Y'all got me working today. We still talking about dating, y'all. And I never heard of this right here, folks. I have never heard of this concept. I might be behind though, but this is another question. Please, y'all answer this in the comment section. Because I don't know where I've been though. We still talking about dating. This is, I guess, a subtopic of it. Here we go.
During dating, sometimes nap dates are a thing. Are they still in marriage?
Did you say nap date?
You don't schedule a nap with your person?
First of all, that sounds wonderful.
What is this life
Who
of
watches
luxury
the
and
children
when
when I do that?
You having a nap date?
Nap, is that a 2022 thing? Y'all taking naps?
I will.
You've never
Ministry, is that what that means?
You've never scheduled a nap? Thank you. Over here, thank you.
Okay.
Cause it may not lead to something.
I have never heard of this. How many of y'all have done a nap date? I'm gonna see. Okay, I've had a nap date before. Okay, Carmelita, tell us. Well, no, I don't. I mean, what? I'm trying to think. Does this deserve on here? This is after party, but tell us if it's. Just tell us. Okay, I schedule color dates that leads to naps. Okay, okay, okay. Taking notes and writing this date suggestion down. Okay, and I read that in your voice. Okay, Yolanda agree. I never heard of that before. Good, glad to have you here tonight. Like I said, I never. This is new to me. These young people stay doing the most, but you know what? Those folks are close to our age, if I'm not mistaken. And I've heard people say this. I did some research on it. It's rather old. Well, I won't say it's not necessarily new, but I never heard of it though. I had never heard of it. Y'all. I never heard of that, but they older, so I get the more. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, I did not know it was called that. So you knew about something similar, but you didn't know the title, if I'm not mistaken. D. Giles from ATL from Jersey. Yes, we fell asleep at the movies. Oh, wow. How long did y'all sleep at the movies? Oh, man. Okay. First time here, like I said, first time hearing about it. I never heard of that. And I am rather confused by it. Don't understand how is it a date. That's something I same here. Same here. Tiffany, it sounds like my type of carrying on. Let me go make. I'm I'm so tired of Tiffany. I'm tired of her. Shell, I'm done both color and nap dates. But is there a difference? I guess one you're woke and one you're not. I was gonna ask what's the difference. It started off with us hanging out watching the game. Then we took a color nap. It was no hanky panky. Okay. Who was mad that it wasn't though? I just mess with you. I did though. See, that just show you how long that concept has been around. Not on purpose. I fell asleep on him while we was on the phone. Oh wow. Okay. I have never had a nap date. I would love to know what the definition of it. Well, I mean, y'all meet up to take a nap. And like Carmelita said, no hanky panky. Sandra says, I like the nap day until he started snoring. I started watching a movie with a man and fell asleep really like a good cuddle session. Oh boy. I miss having cuddle sessions, man. Hey, Margaret from Pennsylvania. I just joined the inlay details. Nap date, really? Okay. Are these old folks' problems? No, I mean, if you read the comments, Shell and others saying, hey, we did this in our younger days. So, yeah, I fell asleep at the drive-in, woke up 2 hours later. Everyone was gone except the lockup crew. Man, that's a mess. That's messed up. That's messed up. That's messed up. So I never had one. I never had one. It would be nice though. I think it would be nice though. So we got to move on. I just wanted to touch on that. So, and of course, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, and share. Coming up next, we got another video by another video by Kendra G. So I think this is the first time a content creator had two separate videos on this show. If it isn't, y'all let me know, comment section, whatever. And she's interviewing this young lady of 74, 75 years old. And she's letting the world know about what she wants in a man. And she's not holding back. And not so much to talk about, just kind of give her props and just hear her. And hey, if any y'all out there want to be a suitor, hey, but let's take a listen.
All right, so you want somebody that's understanding that you're disabled.
Yeah, I'm disabled. I'm partially disabled. I can walk, but I walk with a walker. And I want a man that is considerate of that. And he may have some disabilities at this age. But like I said, I'm a cougar. I'm a Kendra cougar. So 58 to 80, blind, crippled, or crazy. But if he's blind, he can be crippled and crazy because he can't catch me and he won't see me. You know, but if he's crazy, no, he got to be blind and crippled.
Oh my God. So what's the age range you want to date, Miss G?
58 to 80, blind, crippled, or crazy.
58 to 80. Okay. Well, I'm trying to figure out, do you want to get tattoos?
You know, I thought about it because of my sons, and I lost both of my sons. But I figured that why mess up a Rolls Royce? Yeah, you don't mark up a Rolls Royce. I'm a Rolls Royce, so I mean, why would I mark this up?
She told y'all why mess up a Rolls Royce. She told y'all. Whew, she a handful. I like her. Let me put this up here. Yeah, she's a handful too. And she just ordered new teeth. That's what she said. That's not my saying. She said she's ordered new teeth. So she ready. She ready, y'all. She ready. Let me read these comments right quick. Well, y'all coming in too. I appreciate y'all. Stephanie, okay. Blind, crippled, and crazy. Catch me if you can. Woof. That's me in about 30 years. I could see you laying up there saying that too. The pole guy. Okay, Miss G is not holding back anything. I don't blame. Hey, nobody won't know until you say something. Go ahead, girl. Oh, I'm not gonna put that up there, Charlene. I'm not gonna put that up there. You know, I'm not gonna put that up there. Y'all just read it in the comment section. Okay. One more. We got this is the last one for the night. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now somebody trying to be messy. So how was your first conversation with Miss G? Because you sounded familiar because I watched the whole interview. That's why. See, I got something for you, Miss Murphy. Oh, I got something for you. I got something for you. Okay. Y'all a mess tonight. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Okay. Last one. And again. You know it, Jill, right here. Like, subscribe, and share. Okay. Last one. Y'all know the story about Jonah in the Bible. He's supposed to went to Nineveh, but he didn't want to go. So the Lord caused him to be swallowed up by a great fish. Okay? If you're familiar with that. So this is the setup right here. Y'all take a good listen at this. Okay? Here we go.
I mean, is it possible for a whale to swallow a human? It was physically impossible for a whale to swallow a human.
Why, Mommy?
Because even though it was very large mammal, its throat is very small.
But Jonah got swallowed by a whale.
Whale could not swallow a human, sweetie.
When I get to heaven, I'll ask Jonah.
But how about if Jonah went to hell?
Then you ask him.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Know what? I don't even know what to say about that. I guess she told mama. I guess she told mama right there. Wow. That's wow. Ouch. Yeah. Yes. Let me do this right quick. These covers right here. They put these right here. Let's see. Shave on you for that. Yes. Shave. Tarla, yes. Ouch, yes. Yolanda, yes. Sonia, yes. Then you ask, I know, ain't that something? Yes. Mama, get your life right. Ooh, we y'all coming in here too. Leslie, yes, absolutely. Okay, you know what, folks? We out of time. Out of time, a little bit over. No, well, we out of time, a little bit over time. Glad to have each and every one of y'all with here. Thank you all so much. Thank you. It's time for the announcements, though. Let's get these announcements. If I can find these announcements, though, y'all know how I go. Coming up next hopefully at 1:30, we're going to have the after party. We're going to talk about tonight's show, and we're going to talk about whatever else you need to do, and just kind of catch up like a midweek checkup upon everybody. So make sure you join in. Come to our Saturday night social, and we had a great time these past 2 Saturdays. So make sure you come and join us, though. We had a good time. Played trivia last Saturday. So I don't know. We might do name your tune, might do anything. Might dance, might break dance, who knows? And if it's the Lord's will, we'll be back here at the same time next Tuesday for another edition of SBC Tuesday Talk. And that is it, people. It was just you and I tonight. I enjoyed it. So thank you so much. Thank you. And until then, we'll see you later.